Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the coronavirus update video number 55.0. Today's date is the 29th of May 2020. It is Friday, it is my birthday, and it is my wedding anniversary. So we've got a very big celebration that I'm going to be planning today, along with my friends, my wife, my beautiful daughter. We're going to be doing so many things, but it's great to see you guys. You guys are also very important to me, so I want to make sure that every Monday and every Friday I still update you guys and make sure that we have our little community together. It's always really nice seeing all your comments, seeing all of your messages. Again, it's such a warm, welcoming experience to be able to wake up and see some of the comments that you guys put down. So thank you again. And yes, thank you for all the comments about my hair. I did get it cut on Monday, so for anyone who wanted to know what the experience was like, I actually posted a video about an hour before going live today, and this video is just kind of a glimpse of what I would like to continue doing with this page. Now, I know coronavirus is not going to be around forever, and a lot of people have been asking and saying that they're going to miss me when this is all over, and I kind of agree. I will miss you guys too. So I'm kind of in the works at the moment, and I'm going to be doing some videos very similar to what you may have seen on the haircut video. So if you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to share it out to all your friends. I just think it was a bit of an informative video about, of course, people getting their haircuts currently with the state of emergency. We're in phase 2. But, you know, a lot of people have been asking about how was it, what was the safety measures like, and even some people in the UK have been sharing that video out already to hairdressers in the UK, stating that it can be done with gloves on, it can be done with masks on, and yeah, I completely agree, it can be done. I had no problem whatsoever with wearing a mask and wearing gloves, as well as the hairdresser as well. She had no problem cutting my hair with gloves and masks on, so it can be done, and I know it's going to be fine to do in the future as well. So thank you once again for all the birthday messages. Thank you again for anyone who's messaged me privately on WhatsApp or on Facebook comments. Seriously, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. But yes, today is also my anniversary. We've been married for 5 years today. So for all my friends and family who are watching, thank you again for joining in that big celebration 5 years ago of our wedding. It really does mean a lot to me as well. Alright, so we're going to jump into it. We've got a lot of news that we have to catch up on. And we're going to start with some fake news. Now, the fake news is actually about hand sanitizer. So a lot of people have been sending me this story about a bottle of hand sanitizer exploding and causing a car to catch fire during the hot sun here in Spain. I've seen the photos. There is actually no video evidence or anything like this, but I've seen the photo that is in part of the article, and unfortunately this is fake news. I did a little bit of research onto this, and all you have to do is hand sanitizer hot in a car, and you can already see that this story is actually not entirely true. Yes, hand sanitizer, it can be very dangerous if it is left in a hot car, as in the bottle could explode, but not into flames. The only way hand sanitizer, because of course it's like 70-80% alcohol, the only way that a bottle of hand sanitizer can actually explode into flames is if you are igniting it with an actual lighter or fire. So leaving hand sanitizer in a hot car, no, it will not catch on fire. However, the bottle could explode with expansion, but it's most likely not going to happen. Best thing you can do, if you do have hand sanitizer, keep it in your glove box, because that is obviously the coolest place. But if not, just take it with you or don't leave it in the car, okay? So I just wanted to clear that up there for anyone who is worrying about hand sanitizers exploding and turning your car into a fireball and wreckage. So no, do not worry about that. Right, also we're going to talk about numbers. Now, normally at the start of these videos, I like to do the last 24 hours and the statistics and the numbers that have been coming out from official government sources that we have been using in the previous videos. Unfortunately, and I'm sure that you've also seen this on N332, I stopped posting these statistics about 4 days ago. Why? Because they were not consistent anymore. This was a personal decision that I took on. I didn't want to share any information that I didn't actually think was 100% true, or it's not giving all of the information. Yes, the government are still releasing the numbers every single day, and I think that's great. If you want to go and find those numbers, that's fine. It's on all the government official pages, La Moncloa, Sanidad de Salud, it's all there. I'm fortunately not going to be sharing it because I just don't think it's too consistent. There's going to be different numbers on the WHO, or the World Health Organization. There's another different number that appears on the World Stat Counter website. So nothing is consistent. So I'm very, very concerned about this. And what seems to be happening with the official government statistics, they're not actually releasing a lot of the information because they put in a new system to count the people who have died and people who are infected. And of course, last week they took away the recovery numbers as well. So it's just been kind of getting a bit weird. So I didn't want to actually talk about the numbers in that sense. So if you do want to go and research it, that's fine. Now, where we are in Spain and where we are currently at the moment, I actually think we shouldn't be working on the numbers. We shouldn't be focusing on the numbers. We've actually had a really, really good low infection rate over the last 2 weeks, and I still think it's going to be going down and down and down, of course, if we keep up the social distancing and making sure we hand sanitize or wash our hands. That is the best and most effective way that we can stop the infection here. So the best thing I think we should be doing is not focusing on the numbers per se. You know, there's going to be statistics that are coming out. And in fact, I've got some statistics here as well, which I thought was interesting. But again, we don't actually know if this is going to be consistent. And I know it's coming from an official source, but the way they've been changing the way that they're counting, it's just a bit weird. So the number that actually did come out, and I thought this was really, really good. The numbers that have been recorded, Spain has actually recorded a single death in the last 24 hours for the second consecutive day, which means for Thursday and Wednesday, or Wednesday and Thursday, there was only one death due to coronavirus or COVID-19. Now, there's not really much information about this. This could be, for example, there is a death with someone who was tested positive for coronavirus and not just the symptoms of coronavirus. So it's just a bit of information that I thought would be nice to share. One, because one single death in the last 24 hours, 2 times consecutive, I think that's really good information that we should share. And yes, that is information that I think we should focus on, the positives, definitely. But again, it's different. Yeah, it's just different to be able to get those right numbers and share it out with you guys. All right, let's move on to some other things, okay? Phases. Of course, most of Spain now, they are coming out of phase 1 and going into phase 2. The people who have been in phase 2, we've been in for the last 5 days, and not much has really changed, in my personal opinion. However, most of the country of Spain, most of Spain are now going into phase 2 as of Monday. So Monday, the 1st of July, a lot of Spain, or 70% of Spain, will actually be going into phase 2. Still, Madrid and Barcelona, and there are a few other health areas up in the north of Spain, they are also going to be staying in phase 1. This is down to the government and the presidents of the regions stating that they do not wish to go into the next phase. One, because they still have high infection rates and still a lot of people in hospital due to the coronavirus. So yeah, that's news, but the majority of the people watching, I think we're on the coastal region, going down on the east side of the country and down to the south. Majority of you guys will be going into phase 2, so this is great news. That also includes the Valencian community, so all of Valencia, including Alicante. You guys will be going into phase 2, as well as Malaga and Granada, who left in phase 1 last week, and they are now going to be going into phase 2 this week, or next Monday. So yeah, that's really, really great news. Now, there is a map that actually came out a couple of days ago, which I shared on this page. So if you're not sure if your region is going to go into to phase 2, go back onto the page and you can look at the regions and see which phase you're going to be going into as of Monday next year, okay? Now, for phase 2, and anyone who is in phase 2, news came out on Tuesday, of course, the day after I did my Monday video, that everyone in phase 2, there is going to be no restrictions on exercise anymore. Now, this came from the President Sanchez. He put it out into the royal decree. This is really great news because from now, anyone who is in phase 2 as of last Tuesday, you can now go out with your family up to groups of 15 people. So you can go out to exercise together. You can go out for a walk together as many times as you like. and there is no distance for walking either, which means if you wanted to go for a 3-kilometer walk into the local village, you are now able to do this with your family, which is really great news as well. So there's no time limits and there is no restrictions on how far you can go for only the people in phase 2. So as of next Monday, for everyone else who is going into phase 2, this will be your exercise schedule. You will not have a time schedule to follow. The only thing is though, that in phase 2, the only thing that will stay the same will be for the elderly and vulnerable going out at their scheduled time. So everyone who is over the age of 70 or is vulnerable, disabled, maybe have heart problems or health problems, you will still have to stay with your time slot. And that is from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and that's 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. You will still have to stay with those time schedules, unfortunately. I'm predicting in phase 3 these will completely be lifted, but of course the government have put these into place because they know that the elderly are vulnerable, and anyone who has health issues and health problems, they are the vulnerable ones as well, and of course they don't want to get contaminated even more. So yeah, I can understand why they do it. It's going to be a shame, and I know there are a lot of fit and healthy people out there, and unfortunately I don't have any answers for you if you are fit and healthy and go out cycling and stuff like this. Unfortunately, I don't have any answers. If you do go out, please be very careful. Try not to get caught, but I would not advise it at the moment anyway. Right, so yeah, that's for exercise. So one other thing which I know a lot of people are still asking about, can you drive to a place, drive to the mountains, drive to the beach to do exercise? Well, as of Tuesday, yes, this is now permitted. You are able to go to the mountains. You're able to drive to the mountains, go for a hike with the family. You're able to drive to the beaches and go for a walk along the beach. This is actually now permitted, but it has to be within your health province or your province, your region where you are in. So for example, the Murcia region, we have all of the Murcia region. If you're in the Alicante region, you have all of Alicante. If you're in the Malaga region, you have all of Malaga that you can go to. So you are now able to drive to the mountains, and you're now able to go for hikes and walks in the mountains or down to the beach to do some exercise as well. This was a big change, and I actually didn't think this would come into at least phase 3, but yes, this is now permitted, so thumbs up. I'll definitely be doing some videos and getting out into the mountains and recording these as well. All right, next thing, people going to the beach. Now, beaches in phase 2, a majority of these beaches are now opening up to the public. They will be having, of course, stricter rules where you have to keep a 2-meter distance, and there are a lot of local town halls putting these measures into place themselves, as in putting in rope and taking a 2-meter square off and using the rope to basically say that this is now going to be one area, and they're doing this multiple times. There are other beaches where they've got big tractors and they've got a very large stamp, like a rolling pin stamp, and this is marking out the 2-meter mark as well. And there are actually other beaches which are doing by appointment only. Now, I haven't seen any in the Murcia region, but I have seen a couple down in the south of Spain where they're doing some beaches only by appointment only. I don't know if this is going to stick until phase 3, but we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, for the people who are now going to the beaches, yes, in phase 2, you are allowed to go for a swim, you're allowed to drive to the beach, go for a swim, go for a dip, and you're allowed to sunbathe on the beach as well, but of course keeping a social distance. Now, the way that the government and the police are going to be monitoring this is by using drones. Now, I'm a big fan of drones. I have actually got a drone myself, but I of course keep to the whole you can't fly over people, you can't fly over buildings. I have the safety course and everything done, but there's a lot of people out there who still don't understand the dangers of a drone. But the police are now hiring companies, and they are going to be monitoring drones, using drones, the beaches all around the coastal of Murcia, Valencia, Malaga, Andalusia, Almeria, and they're going to be using drones to monitor if a 2-meter distancing square is going to be used or not. So if you are on the beach and you do see a flying drone coming above you, do not panic. This is most likely going to be the police, and they're just monitoring to make sure that everyone is still following the local rules, let's say. All right, let's move on. Okay, as of Tuesday, I'll do that at the end actually. Masks and gloves. Now still, there's a lot of people arguing about masks and gloves and how effective they are, blah, blah, blah. As it stands at the moment, it is still the law to wear a mask when you are out if you cannot keep a social distance. Most of the shops, supermarkets, pharmacies, banks, they still now require to have a mask on when entering these premises. Most of these places will have hand sanitizer stations and maybe glove station as well, but some don't. This is down to this is definitely down to the shop, but they should have these put into place already. Same as hairdressers as well. Now, taking a mask, there has been a lot of complaints, of course, with people taking off masks, taking off gloves as soon as they're out, and then ditching them on the floor, or even putting them to bin, but then flying out. Now, as of this week, there are now very strict fines if you are caught dumping or littering a mask or gloves onto the floor. These fines are now minimum of €600 and could go all the way up to €900 if you have done this in any area, really. So if you are littering or if you do it by accident, just please be very, very careful. Now, another safety warning that came out from the government as well. If you do see these masks and gloves on the floor, do not pick them up. I know a lot of people are out there and they really want to help out, and they see the litter on the floor and they just want to help clear it out. Do not pick up these masks and do not pick up these gloves. Unfortunately, this has to be left for local cleaners or cleaners of the streets to come and get these. It's just such a shame that, I will see gloves on the floor and a mask on the floor and I just want to pick it up and put it in the bin. I can't do this. You're at risk of infecting yourself. You never know where these masks have been or who has been wearing these masks. So yeah, do not do this, okay? Just a safety warning there. I know there are a lot of nice people out there who will do this, but you don't do this, okay? Right, and the next thing, ERTE. Now, there's a lot of people who are asking about ERTE payments, and they're asking about when they're going to be paid, etc., etc. Now, as of today, in fact, I talked about this about a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, about a minimum income scheme, which is now being approved by the Vice President, and he is actually in charge of this. Now, we talked about this where he's been setting up a minimum income scheme for the people who have lost their jobs or have a very, very low income household. And it's now been approved, it's been given the green light, and they are now putting this into works. This is going to be run by the Social Security Institute, the National Social Security Institute. These will be running this. Now, what does this mean? Well, for the people who are on ERTE, they still have their contract. You should still be receiving your money until at least July. So this is the end of June. You'll still be receiving the money. If you haven't received your money yet, you need to contact your boss or the company's solicitor or lawyer, because they should be in charge of this and they should be making sure that you are on the system and making sure that you are on the system and getting your money through. Now, there has been, of course, a lot of people complaining that they haven't received anything. This can be down to misinformation or information that hasn't been provided, such as bank account details or an email address to confirm that you've confirmed your address and name and everything as well. So please contact your boss or contact your company's solicitor or lawyer to see if they can do anything about this, or to see and make sure that you are actually on the ERTE. No, for anyone who is not on ERTE, they are not on the paro, which is the unemployment wage, and you are struggling for benefits, this minimum income scheme is going to be put into effect hopefully by the beginning of June. But this will be down to the National Social Security Institute. Now, again, I haven't got any information about where to go and how to apply for this yet. But the people who will be able to apply for this are between the ages of 23 and 65. However, if you are younger than 23, you have to be legally classed as emancipated. So if you're 16 and above, then this will be another thing. But it was a bit strange that they said 23. But yeah, 23 to 65 years old, and you have an income of less than 462, which is the minimum wage here in Spain. If you have less and you can prove that you are on less income than 462 euros, then you will be able to apply for this. Now, just being able to apply for this doesn't mean that you're going to be able to get it or have your application approved, but you will be able to apply for it. Now, the government have put a lot of money into this already, and I'll go into some figures just after this little segment here. But I think for anyone who is struggling with money, and you're not sure when the next paycheck's going to come in, or the money from Erte, and you're struggling for food especially, I would recommend contacting your local Red Cross. Now, the local Red Cross, they are providing food packages for anyone who is unfortunately not able to provide for their families at the moment. You can go to any Red Cross station and they will have food packages for you as well. Now, I know there's a lot of people on this group as well who have already set up food banks in supermarkets and local supermarkets as well. So if you are one of these people, seriously, well done to you guys, because you guys are doing an absolutely amazing job. So thank you for that. Right, what else? Oh, and people who can apply for this, if you have been in Spain for less than a year, unfortunately you will not be able to apply for this. But if you have, if you've been living in Spain for more than a year, then yes. So migrants, you are able to do it, but as long as you've been living for more than a year in Spain, and you can prove this as well. So this would be down to having a residency NIE number, or even having any bills or anything to your name for rent and stuff like this. And someone asked, yes, 462 a month, not a week. 462 a month. Okay, so please keep that in mind. All right, let's continue on. Okay, phase 3. There's going to be some islands going into phase 3 as of Monday, the 1st of June as well. So that's really good news for the islands that are going in. I believe some of the Canaries and I can't remember what the other ones were, but if you're going into phase 3, this is great news for you. But the people who are going into phase 3, there's not going to be much difference. The main difference is that shops, bars and supermarkets are now going to be opening up with a 50% capacity inside instead of just the 40%, which is currently put into place for the phase 2. So when we go into phase 3, most likely most of these premises and shops and supermarkets and cafes and bars, whatever, these are going to be opening up the inside at 50%, and maybe the terraces will be opening up a little bit larger, but at the moment it's just 50% and 50%. All right, what else is there? Okay, so a lot of people have been asking about the quarantine, the 14-day quarantine. As it stands, yes, if you do come back to Spain, if you're a resident here and you do come back to Spain, yes, you still have the 14-day quarantine. That's self-isolation in your own home. If you go back to the UK, I believe this is still the case as well. A lot of people have been asking, when will this be lifted? Well, what President Sanchez has put out, he says that from the 1st of July, this will no longer be the case, and self-quarantining will not be from the 1st of July. So I think they're expecting the tourism industry to start recovering from July the 1st, or at least the beginning of July, when flights can start come in. However, there has been a proposal for tourism to start again even before the 1st of July. Now, not President Sanchez, but officials from Spain, they've been speaking with the European Union, and has been speaking with other countries, with regards to tourism and allowing people to come in and out of the country for tourism experiences. Holidays, basically. So as it stands, the Spanish officials have been speaking with the European Union, and they have put out a proposal to let other EU countries, I keep saying companies, it's not a company, letting other EU countries with control of the virus, obviously. So it will be European countries with control of the virus, and they do not have any outbreaks over the next month or so. And they will start travelling between each of these countries, which is great news to see. However, there was no mention, of course, with Great Britain. Now, with Great Britain and Brexit happening, yes, they're still part of the European Union until December, but nothing was mentioned about with Britain and if this is going to be allowed or not. Now, again, this is still a proposal. So for all the people who are probably seeing news articles about countries like Germany and France are allowing tourism to start before July the 1st, this might not be true. Again, it's a proposal. Nothing has been accepted yet or put into the royal decree, so we still have to wait for this. But then it begs to differ. Well, if President Sanchez said that the 14-day quarantine will be lifted on the 1st of July, why would they start talking about tourism beginning in June? Again, it's very, very confusing, very wishy-washy, and I don't know if one is going to be lasting without the other. So if the self-quarantine is still in place until July, why would people come before July? And vice versa, if they're going to be allowing people from end of June or end of June or late June before July, well, that means that the 14-day quarantine will be lifted before then. So again, it's going to be very confusing, I know, but I will still keep you updated with this, definitely. All right, and what else is there? Well, speaking of the European Union, Spain, most likely, well, this has now been approved, Spain will now be receiving 140 billion euros with regards to the coronavirus incidents, and it's from the European Union, and this is going to be for the coronavirus or the COVID-19 recovery system. Now, this is, of course, going to be put into the social security, is going to be put back into a lot of the funding that needs to be put back into the hospitals, to the government workers, to anyone who's on the front line, especially. This is a great package. You know, this is fantastic. Now, as it stands, Spain has already put 34 billion euros into the coronavirus recovery system, and this is, of course, with social security as well. So everyone who's on ERTE, anyone trying to get benefits as well, 34 billion euros has already gone into this, but it looks like the European Union are going to be giving Spain 140 billion euros extra with regards to the recovery of the coronavirus and the recovery of the sectors of tourism, the sectors of hospitality, restaurants, bars. So this is great news as well. Now, again, we don't know how long it's going to be until we start seeing this money starting to flow back into the system, but at least we know it's going to be coming as well. All right. And that, my lovely, lovely people, is it today. We've actually done a great video today. I've managed to get a lot of the information out there as much as possible. Now, a lot of people have been asking about the t-shirts. And yes, I didn't bring them in here. I do have the t-shirts, something went wrong then. The connection went. Okay, it's back. So a couple of companies have approached me about printing t-shirts, and I thought it's going to be a great idea. It's something that we can definitely put out to you guys, and if you are interested in purchasing a t-shirt, then this could be a great way to also raise some money for charity as well. So what I would like you to do, if you are very, very interested, and I mean very, very interested in a t-shirt, if you could private message me, maybe we could have a quick conversation, maybe just the number of what you would like or etc. You've seen the designs already, and in fact, my mum printed this for me today because, of course, it's my birthday. It's backwards, unfortunately, but it says, "Keep calm and listen to Adrian." After all, it is his birthday, 29 on the 29th. So thank you, Mum. But I'm going to be getting some t-shirts printed like this. "Keep calm and listen to Adrian." "Keep calm, we're in phase, ... and then a question mark. And I've maybe got a couple of other designs that I've been speaking with these guys about, and I think it could be very, very interesting. So if you guys are interested in a t-shirt, give me a private message, because if I can get a decent amount of numbers, then we'll be able to get something out there. Right, guys, that is it for today. I really appreciate all of you watching. So thank you very much. And I'll see you I'll see you on Monday, the 1st of July, for more updates on the coronavirus here in Spain. Anyway, I'm going to go enjoy my birthday and my wedding anniversary, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye, guys.